What is going on, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of the I Formation podcast here with Ben Hall, my guy, LaRon McClain. Today we're not sure yet. We should be hopefully getting a guy on, but before we get him on, we're gonna be talking about our standings and everything like that in the NFC and our quarterback rankings, and then we're gonna do a few bold predictions and give opinions on that because that was pretty fun. But before we start, how you doing today, LaRon?
Man, I'm good. I'm good. Blessed to be on this thing another day, man. Affirmation Podcast, man. Remember to follow us on all platforms: Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, Instagram. You know what I'm saying? Follow us on everything, man. Like, subscribe, do all that, man. Bring y'all this heat, NFL content. Content every week. Like you said, we might have somebody on today. If we don't, we're gonna be talking that good knowledge, man. And we all on the NFC today, man. All on the NFC today, man. And hopefully we get y'all a great show. I know we is though.
To start, we're starting with our standings. So we'll start at 7, and I'll go first. I'm going with the Minnesota Vikings. That's a little bit of a surprise, but I think with a new coaching staff, I think Kirk Cousins and that offense can take that step forward. Before they had the defensive-minded coaching staff, and we talked about it last time, but Kirk Cousins and Zimmer didn't really get along well at all, and that kills a team when your quarterback and coach don't get along. So I think Justin Jefferson is one of the top receivers in the league. Dalvin Cook, when healthy, will really, really help them out. And on top of all of it, if that defense can play like they had before, signings of Darius Smith, I think they definitely could get a wild card spot. I don't think they'll win the division. I don't think they're near as good as the Packers. And I also think the Bears are going to start catching up as Justin Fields becomes more comfortable as an NFL quarterback. But for now, I have the Vikings at number 7, the last seed in the wild card.
My last seed in wild card going to be a different one, and people probably try to get on me about this, but I got the Detroit Lions.
Oh,
Team,
oh,
man.
the kneecaps. Oh my God.
Biting the kneecaps off, man, coming into this thing. Golf, man. Golf is more comfortable, man. Saw a little podcast with him on there on the pivot. Him
Oh yeah, I
talking
saw that.
everything seems like he's more confident in his offense and ready to, lead the team back to the Super Bowl, just like he did in LA. So I'm looking forward to seeing them, man. I think the Lions gonna come out at number 7, man, with it, with some the wins last year. I mean the games last year that they lost in them last seconds, close games. I think them the games that they're gonna pull out this year, and try to get them a little spot in the playoffs, man. Try to change the culture up there in Detroit. So I'm loving Detroit at number 7.
That's a big, big hot take. Some people aren't gonna like that one, but I can see it. I think the coach
The
is gonna be
Motor
really good up
City,
there,
man. It's the
and
Motor.
they're on Hard Knocks.
They're on Hard Knocks. They're on Jared Goff third time on Hard Knocks, so he just like
Yeah.
a star on that now. So man, I'm looking forward to the show, man. Can't wait for it to come out this week.
Yep. For number 6, I went with the Eagles. Jalen Hurts adding AJ Brown. You already have Devontae Smith. The guys on that offense are very good, and that defense just has to step up a little bit. And I think Jalen Hurts' game will step up this year. To be honest, I think he is another very, very criticized quarterback, and he has his struggles. Don't get me wrong, but Hurts is tough. Hurts also can beat you with his legs and his arm, and I really like the Eagles this season, but I don't see them winning the division over Dallas. I'm a big on my Giants, but they're an honorable mention. They're not. I don't think they'll get in, but I got them and the Panthers right on the outside looking in. But like I said, I just really like the Eagles this season. AJ Brown is that big of a difference maker, and that AJ Brown leaving Tennessee is the reason I don't have Tennessee in the playoffs. But going to Philly, now you have to stop Devontae Smith and AJ Brown. That's way too much. Dallas Goedert's been very good. Miles Sanders is a good running back when they actually get him involved. So it'll be interesting to see, kind of how their offense is brought about this season. But I really, really like Philadelphia this year.
Man, my number 6 is America's team, Dallas Cowboys. Uh got the Cowboys coming out the NFC East again. I know a lot of teams. I know Carson Wentz with the Redskins, and the Giants getting better. Then the Giants gonna surprise a lot of teams, but Think they're gonna lose a lot of close games. You know what I'm saying? I got Dak now. Dak coming back with this high power offense, got the weapons. You've seen Ezekiel Elliott training this offseason, man. The guys look thinner, he look faster, quicker. You know, so I think they're gonna get their running game going back. So I got Dallas at number 6.
For number 5, I'm going with the New Orleans Saints. That I'm very high on them this year as long as Jameis Winston is healthy. Shout out to Marcus, my brother-in-law. He's got a big bet on Jameis MVP, Jameis over passing yards this year. And I believe it. I truly think, I mean, at the odds, I think the Saints and Jameis Winston, that offense looks so good this season. To be honest with you, I just think adding the guys they added, you have Jarvis Landry. Michael Thomas looks fully healthy and has looked very good at practice. And then you add Chris Olave from the Ohio State offense, which was unstoppable. That offense is going to be great. And then have you seen the videos of Trevor Penning, the left tackle they drafted? He's been
Yeah,
starting fights every practice.
man, big dog.
Yeah, like people are bashing him, but like don't get me wrong, you don't want your players out there starting fights with guys every day, but you don't want a nice offensive lineman. Like you want somebody who's going to make sure your quarterback does not get touched full out through the game. So whatever he's doing now, they hope he can clean it up a little bit. But like on the field, you do not want Jameis Winston getting touched at all, especially after dealing with the injury. So I think that's a good draft pick. And just in all, you add Tyrann Mathieu to the defense. Defense looks fine. I think the secondary's always been very good. I think the Saints just miss the Bucks, and the Saints are the final wild card team making the playoffs.
Who is number 5?
Yeah.
Number 5, man, I also have New Orleans. You know what I'm saying? With Winston back, high-powered offense, man, getting the addition of Matthew on defense. I think the head coaches set the tone, you know what I'm saying, in practice already. Like you said, that nasty offensive tackle that they have, you know what I'm saying, with the running game and passing game. Jameis stay upright, man. They're going to make some noise in the NFC South, so I got them at number 5.
For number 4 to start the divisional winners, my final seeded divisional winner will be the Dallas Cowboys. You kind of talked about it earlier. Dak is Dak. The Cowboys are very good, but I feel like we have to see him take a little bit of a step. Last year was a little disappointing. You know, they were so exciting during the regular season and they get to the playoffs and it's like, who is this team? You know, they got destroyed for most of the game by the 49ers. I don't know. I think if they can put everything together, if Diggs can play at a high level, they will win a lot of games, but they're losing Randy Gregory on their defensive line. Expect Micah Parsons to take a big step this year with this being a second year in the NFL, and he was already great last year. But I'm interested to see kind of what that offense looks like without Amari Cooper running routes. And they added James Washington, who suffered injury. I don't know exactly what the injury was yet, but if Dak doesn't have all his weapons, it'll be interesting to see kind of how he adjusts in game and really look for CeeDee Lamb to have a major year this year. That's another thing I want to note. CeeDee Lamb is going to be the guy. He's going to get the ball a ton, and I think he's going to have a breakout season to where he's one of the top wide receivers in the NFL. So look out for the Cowboys. I think they win the division, but they're not atop of all the division leaders.
So my number 4 is I have the Eagles winning the NFC South. I mean, NFC East. I'm sorry, NFC East. I'm sorry. I got the Eagles winning at number 4. Coming out, Jalen Hurts, that high power offense, man. His second year, you know what I'm saying. Him strapping up that offensive line of theirs, man. You know what I'm saying. Bringing a few key additions on defense, but with AJ Brown, Devontae Smith, you know what I'm saying, on that offensive side, man. Them being high powered, then Jalen Hurts could do both run and pass. Athletic guy at quarterback. So I got them win. I had a, you know what I'm saying, a little problem trying to see. I just don't trust the 49ers right now with Trey Lance. You know how they did Jimmy G claim winner. They put Trey Lance in there. I understand practice. I got to see it in the game. He might surprise us. You know what I'm saying? Probably knock them Lions out for that number 7 spot, you know, something like that. But I think the Lions in like close games versus like the 49ers, if they play, Lions gonna, you know what I'm saying, get them at the end just with, you know what I'm saying, effort. So I got the Eagles at number 4 winning the NFC East.
Okay, so now to the Tampa Bay Bucks winning the NFC South. I think that's a tight race between them and the Saints, but I'm going with the Bucks just because Tom Brady's a quarterback, and he's 45 years old, by the way. Still tearing up defense, is doing what he does. But I'm gonna go with the Bucks just because I really like, you know, their draft a little bit. Logan Hall was a very underrated defensive end from Houston. I think he will definitely give them a little bit of a boost. But losing Ronald Jones and OJ Howard, I think and Alex Kappa actually on the offensive line will kind of hurt. They added Shaq Mason, who is a very good offensive lineman. You're bringing back Chris Godwin. You're adding Russell Gage, and you're also bringing back Carlton Davis. So the defense, I think, will play fine, but protecting Tom Brady is always the most important thing for the Bucs to do. And at 45, like you've said before, what you guys always talked about with the Ravens, making him move around, getting him off that spot. If teams do that at 45 years old, it's going to be a tough year for the Bucs. But they're going to need really, really big play out of their offense. Like I said, with the defense losing a few players, Jordan Whitehead and all them. It's just I can't go against Tom Brady in this division. I think Tom Brady once again wins the division and maybe makes the NFC Championship. I don't think they're winning the Super Bowl this year, but after all the retirement stuff this offseason, I think Brady wants to have a very good season and make it show that he still can do what he can do at 45.
Yeah, my number 3 team, man, I got A-Rod and the Packers. I think A-Rod, they're not going to win 13 games this year like they did the last 3 years, but I think they'll win 12. So I think they probably win 12 or 11, man. Great team. I know, you know what I'm saying, he lost his number 1 receiver, Devontae Adams, to the Las Vegas Raiders and everything. But with A-Rod, the way that he throws the ball, man, if that defense could just hold up and do a little bit for him, I think him and Matt LaFleur come up with a great, you know what I'm saying, game plan week in, week out. You know what I'm saying, for them to just take over that NFC North. Not too many teams in there, you know, got the Lions. I think they'll split with the Lions this year, but they'll sweep the other 2. You know what I'm saying? I don't think they'll hold up, you know, with Justin Fields and, you know, Kirk Cousins, man. I'm on the bad. I like Zimmer, man. So I'm on the bad end with Kirk Cousins right now. You know, but I got the Packers at number 3.
For my number 2 is the Packers. Like you kind of said, you know, they lost a few guys. They lost Devontae Adams. They also lost Marquez Valdez-Scantling, which are 2 of your top receivers, which is tough. And then on top of it, you lose your edge rushers, Darius Smith, who they really just couldn't pay. But during the draft, you out and add Quay Walker, Devontae Wyatt, and Christian Watson, who all 3 I think will make big noise in their rookie year in the NFL. Then in free agency, you bring back Alan Lazard. You add Sammy Watkins, who I think is an underrated addition. With Baltimore, he didn't fit in well. But with the Chiefs, when he was healthy and on the field, he was making plays. Like, people forget that. And I think it's kind of a look pass for them. But if he could stay healthy for as many games as they need him to, maybe 12 games, you know, he always, every single year, misses a few games. So if he could play 12 games this year and play to the best of his ability that we've seen in previous years, I think that offense, you know, losing Devontae Adams will hurt. But Aaron Rodgers is still Aaron Rodgers. And I think that offense with Aaron Rodgers in it will always win games. And I think they'll be the 2 seed. It'll be 1A, 1B versus them, and who I have as the 1 seed, I think. And the Bucs as well, but I'm gonna go with the Packers as the 2 seed.
Man, my 2 seed is Tom down there in Tampa Tom, you know what I'm saying, down there in Tampa Bay, with his guys coming back with that defense, with Tom just doing what he do, you know what I'm saying? They keep him on the spot, man. He go eat you alive. If they get him on the spot, probably a different story. Probably his only big matchup probably be against New Orleans. New Orleans probably handled like New Orleans been doing ever since he been down in the NFC side. But he always figures out a way, you know what I'm saying, to come out. I think they'll win the division, you know what I'm saying, come out on top, but I don't have them winning the, you know what I'm saying, the whole thing, man. That goes to the number 1 team.
Yep. My number 1, I think it's everybody's, the Los Angeles Rams.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
they just, I mean, adding Allen Robinson, in my opinion, was one of the biggest signings in free agency. I've always raved about how good I think Allen Robinson is. And in Chicago, there was nowhere to flourish. He was still putting up numbers in Chicago, but they kind of just let him go in Chicago. And now he's going to go to a real true pass first offense. I'm not saying Chicago's not anymore, because the new coaching staff, I don't know. But last year was horrible. They didn't give him the ball enough. And that really hurt them. And I don't blame that on Justin Fields at all. I blame it on Nagy. But they add Allen Robinson. And then another huge underrated signing, Bobby Wagner, which
Yep. Crazy.
like it's insane. That defense is going to be so many name guys.
Yeah.
During the draft, they get Kyron Williams a little bit later on, which will be a good running back behind Cam Akers. If Akers gets hurt, that'll be interesting to see. Because he's dealt with injury and just guys in the NFL when they deal with injury, I feel like we see some guys get re-injured. So I hope because if Cam Akers stays healthy all year, teams are going to have their hands full. They already will, but if Cam Akers is healthy, it's not looking good for anybody else in that NFC West. But the NFC West, by the way, before I let you go, is I think went from the best division in football to one of the worst, to be honest. 49ers on the outside looking in. Cardinals, to me, are on the outside looking in.
Yep.
And then the Seahawks are the worst team in football. So it'll be interesting to see how everything goes. But I just think the Rams are going to totally dominate that division.
Man, NFC West, man, you got Drew Lock and Geno Smith battling it out for the starting quarterback.
We're going to be talking about that in a little while.
Man, we're gonna cross them out, man. You got the 49ers with their new quarterback, Trey Lance, you know what I'm saying? Cal trying to get his guy going. They said he got the offense, you know what I'm saying, and everything. He been, you know what I'm saying, making plays to their number one out there, 49ers. A lot of fights out there. Tough defense ran by D'Amico Ryans. Just don't think it'll get the Rams. Adding Bobby Wagner to that defense, I think is crazy. They still had Cooper Kupp, Allen Robinson, you know what I'm saying, with all their other weapons on offense, man. I think Stafford and them, McVay, the way that he runs his offense, gonna, come into that thing high powered this year, ready to repeat, man. I don't think everybody, coming to this season just trying to be mediocre. So I just feel like them guys gonna, run that whole NFC this year and come out number one.
Yeah, fully agree. And now to jump to our quarterback rankings 1 through 5. This was very tough for me. The AFC, it was much easier to do. But to start, my honorable mention is Jameis. I've noted multiple times on here how big of a fan I am of Jameis. And when Jameis is healthy, he has the ability to tear you up throughout the field. We saw that in Tampa Bay. He struggled with turnovers, but he also threw 30 touchdowns. So Jameis is my honorable mention. And a lot of people, I think, are underrating him, to be honest with you. But my 5th ranked quarterback in the NFC, I had to add him, even though I'm not a big fan of him at all. Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray he's one of a kind. I think the whole thing with the film is shocking and bizarre. He's the only quarterback in the NFL who will ever have that written in their contract, I believe. Like, it's just legitimately unbelievable. I don't know how that can happen. And then the team doesn't have the balls to keep it in. They take it out because they were scared with all the backlash they were getting. And I'm sure they didn't want Kyler being all pissed off. But if they had to make that point known, clearly you're not watching enough film. Like, that's on you. I don't know how else to say it.
It's bad.
It's sad. And everybody, they're getting Hollywood Brown, who, don't get me wrong, in Baltimore made a lot of big plays. But if he doesn't get the ball enough, he will make it known and he will complain a lot, to be completely honest with you. So him and his boy, Kyler Murray, better make sure they're on the right terms, because Hollywood wants the ball, and Hollywood also, I'm not even going to get it. Hollywood has to stay healthy there. He's going to want the ball. Sometimes he asks for a lot, and it'll be interesting to see how he reacts to some games. I've been much more on Hollywood, watching the Ravens as much as I do, and I've just kind of seen him be frustrated much more than not. Even though they're targeting him a lot, he gets the ball a lot, and I don't see how he's going to get the ball as much as he already did in Arizona. They'll throw the ball a little bit more than Baltimore will, but Arizona's got some guys at wide receiver, which Hollywood was the guy in Baltimore. So it'll be interesting to see, kind of how they do. They brought back Zach Ertz, brought back James Conner, and they also added the guard Willie Hernandez from the Giants. So I think they've improved, but weeks 1 through 18, it'll be interesting to see what Kyler Murray shows up, because he had weeks where he could throw for 300 plus yards, but he's also had the weeks where he's thrown for 57, called out of the game, and been like, yeah, I don't feel like playing anymore. So Kyler Murray's like a wild card to me. I don't know what's going on there. I think he's got to get right in the head, but I think I think he's the 5th best quarterback in the NFC, and I also have them missing out in the playoffs, by the way.
All right, so man, when that came out about Murray, man, that made me feel like kind of bad. So I couldn't put him in my top 5, but I got him down there, Murray, with Hurts and Mariota from Atlanta. You
Yeah.
know,
Oh,
same type of quarterbacks, you know what I'm saying, run around, dink and dunk, do their thing. Mariota more are probably more poised thrower than both of them. So I had a 5A and a 5B. You know,
okay.
my 5A is Dak. You know, when Dak is going in that offense, you know what I'm saying? He has a high power offense. They were making plays last year doing their thing. They lost Amari Cooper and
Yep.
lost a receiver in camp, you know what I'm saying, this year. So I know a lot of them gonna be on Ezekiel Elliott back. Then my 5B is Jared Goff. You know, I feel so
Oh
good
my
about
gosh.
Jared Goff. It is Detroit Lions team. I can't wait to see the hard knocks. I can't wait to see Jared Goff go out there, you know what I'm saying, run his offense. I think if they're scoring points, you know what I'm saying, with their weapons, man, you know, I think they can stick in the game at the end of the games and think he's gonna make you know what I'm saying, a big splash. So I got him as my 5B, Jared Goff, you know what I'm saying? But I think Jared Goff gonna have a great season this year.
You are very big on Jared Goff. That and that Rams or in the
He
Lions. And
better, hey, he better than Sam Darnold, man. He
oh
better
yeah.
than he better than
Yes.
Zach Wilson.
Yes. I think we are better than Sam Darnold.
I think
Sam
he's
Darnold
better
is
than
garbage.
I think he's better than Daniel Jones. If you give my man the
Okay.
weapons that he have in the Giants, I think he's better than I'm telling you, Golf gonna do his thing, man. Golf is a
See,
Super Bowl
the way you're
quarterback.
looking at the Lions and Jared Goff is the way I'm looking at the Giants and Daniel Jones. So that'll be a fun.
Okay.
Matter of fact, we're gonna go back to this later in the year. Well, so I have the Giants finishing ahead of the Lions in the standings, and Daniel Jones playing better. You got the Lions finishing ahead of the Giants
Yeah,
with Jared Goff. So that'll be a funny battle. I hope they play each other this year because that would be a good Sunday morning episode to
that would
talk
be
about
great.
that.
I'm telling you, yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
But to go to a number 4 for me, I took Dak. You kind of just mentioned everything about Dak.
Yeah.
Lost some stuff, but I think Dak is going to battle. I think this year will be another year where we see the Cowboys make the playoffs, but in their losses, they're going to be playing from behind. And Dak's best statistics were playing from behind, as we've known.
Yeah.
Dak would throw it for 550 yards. Like I still remember the Browns game, OBJ. I think it was week one or week two. I think it was 2 years ago. Dak was playing against the Browns, and Dak threw for like 550 yards, a bunch of touchdowns, and it was all because the Cowboys were losing by so much to the Browns. So it'll
To
be
the
interesting. Yeah, yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens there. But I really like Jalen Tolbert, the wide receiver they have from South Alabama. I
Yeah.
think he's very underrated, and he's supposed to be making some noise at camp. They brought back Dalton Schultz. They added James Washington, who now I think might be done for the year. You're bringing back Michael Gallup, losing a ton in Amari Cooper, Randy Gregory, Leo Collins. So it'll be interesting to kind of see how they fill these losses. But I really like Dak this year, and I still think they'll win their division, which has been one of the weakest divisions in football the past few years.
Indeed. Man, my number 4 is Carson Wentz. No, I'll just play it. I'll just play
I was about to say, hold up. Hold up.
Hey, I would have broke the internet, man. I'm saying golf
Oh,
Carson Wentz, no, man. But my number 4, man, when the guy's healthy, before he got hurt last year with the Saints, man, Jamie
yeah,
Winston, man, he makes the right throws, like he said when he's at Tampa
I like
Bay.
that a lot.
When he said he has a lot of picks, when he said he had a lot of picks, he had a lot of touchdowns, led the NFL in touchdowns also. I
Yeah.
think the man is ready to put the weapons around him. He got Michael Thomas back, you know what I'm saying, 41 in the backfield, doing everything, running the ball, catching the ball out the backfield. And Winston just being that crazy leader that he is, you
Yeah.
know, so I think he's gonna if he stay healthy this year, the Saints gonna make a lot of noise, man, and be a playoff team.
I fully agree. Now my number 3 is Matt Stafford. He can't. He's a Super Bowl winning quarterback. Stafford is great, and now he's adding Allen Robinson, which is going to be horrifying for other defenses. But a big thing that I'm extremely worried about is the tendonitis in the elbow. Tendonitis is not something to be played with. Tendonitis hurts so bad, and the Rams should be doing whatever they can to keep him off. I've read that they're letting him. He's throwing limited, not throwing as much. I would honestly give him the next 2 weeks off and try to revamp him for the 2 weeks before the season. As much like the best thing for tendonitis is just taking time off, not doing anything, and him throwing just a little bit could constantly put more pressure on that elbow. So if I were the Rams, I would give him at least 2 weeks off. When Stafford is healthy, Stafford, in my opinion, is right now the third best quarterback in the NFC, but it's close. The last few guys have been very close, but I really like Stafford, and this Rams offense has a very good chance to go to another Super Bowl and win an NFC again. So I'm going with Stafford number 3 as long as he's healthy.
Indeed. I had to put, so just to say this, I got to put Justin Fields down there with Murray Hurts and Mariota also.
Yeah.
Same type of quarterback running around, dinking and dunking. But my number 3 is I got Tom Brady. You know what I'm saying? I had to put Stafford over him just because of, the coach that he had, Mike McVay, Sean McVay, the way that he's calling the play for Stafford, you know what I'm saying? That's my number. But I got Tom at number 3, the gunslinger, still doing his thing at 45. I think gonna be a little behind this year with his O-line beat up,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Them getting that to Tom this year, getting them out, like you said, like we said earlier, man, like every defensive coordinator say when we was at the Ravens, getting them off that spot, man, making them work, making him look downfield so he can take his eyes off downfield. You know what I'm saying? That's a big thing for Tom. So I think Tom gonna take a little back seat to the other 2 gunslingers in the NFC this year. So I got him at number 3.
My number 2 is Tom. I fully agree with everything you said. The injuries and all that. It's just I got to see what's going on. I got to see what's going on with the center Jensen. If Jensen's done for the year, they're screwed. Tom loves Jensen. That's been known. Jensen also resigned with the Bucs when Brady announced that he wasn't retiring. So I think that relationship there is huge, and not having his number 1 center is going to be a killer for Tom. But on the same side of that, Tom has been insane, and he's 45 years old. Like I'm just kind of speechless. I don't understand how the guy does what he does. But it'll be interesting to see. He brought back Chris Godwin. He added Russell Gage, who was kind of an underrated piece in Atlanta. And it'll be interesting to see, what Tom does at 45. Can that offensive line protect him? If Tom has the best protection or close to the best protection in the league, Tom's best quarterback in the league. At very much. But
got Julio, Mike.
Not,
he got some weapons, man. Julio just popped in my head. I forgot about Julio down there.
Yeah, I think I forgot about Julio as well.
Yeah,
adding him is crazy.
You know what I'm saying? Him and Evans, it's gonna be interesting. They keep him up, right? I think he'll do pretty good. So with their defense and putting them back on the field and him just dinking and dunking. You know what I'm saying? Tom will be Tom, man. Tom will make a way. But my number two is Stafford coming in with the you know what I'm saying, reigning Super Bowl champs. Yep. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, adding Allen Robinson, still got Cooper Kupp. You know what I'm saying? The guys like that on that offense, man. Cam Akers on that offense, and him doing his thing. Just hopefully get his elbow right. Got to get the elbow right, because his elbow not good. I don't know what the Rams going to do. They're going to get set out, you know what I'm saying, with that defense that they have. But Stafford, big baller, you know what I'm saying, doing his thing. He get it to Allen Robinson this year. Allen Robinson should have a breakout year this year in that offense with McVay.
Yep. Yeah, fully agree. And at number 1, it's going to be a little bit of a surprise. I'm going Daniel Jones. I think it's like, no. No, I am.
I thought you would have said Darnold or Baker.
No, Darnold can go straight to the trash can. You know how I feel about him. Baker's winning that job, by the way. Baker is going to win that job. Baker is going to be the starting quarterback in Carolina. Sam Darnold, I think, finally he's the backup now. I think Sam Darnold finally is the backup, seeing ghosts and all that. But no, I do think Daniel Jones has a good year, but nowhere near the top 5. I think Daniel Jones, there's a lot of hate to him right now, which is fully understandable with how bad he's been. But I think Dabble can kind of get him right. And if Dabble gets him right, the Giants will be right around the playoff contention. But my number 1, no surprise here, Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers is in the same boat as Mahomes is this year with the lose your best receiver, but still sure you're the guy. I think that's what's going to happen with Rodgers this year. He lost Devontae Adams, which is insane. Devontae Adams was literally the easiest receiver to throw to probably in the NFL. But losing him, you're like, damn, that's a big loss. But at the same time, You're bringing back Lazard, who I think has a breakout year. I already noted what I thought about Sammy Watkins. And you add this guy, Christian Watson from North Dakota State, who made plays in college. Aaron Rodgers has gotten a lot out of subpar receivers in his career. So if these guys are anything better than that, I think Christian Watson will be, by the way, and Lazard will too. Sammy Watkins, like I said, is a wild card. You never know what you're going to get. But Rodgers will be able to get the most out of this receiving core. And I still think he takes the Packers deep in the playoffs and has another career year like he did just last year. So I'm going with Rodgers number one just because I can't pick against him.
Yeah, man, back-to-back MVP, you know what I'm saying, doing his thing, 13 games the last 3 years. No, they couldn't get it done in the playoffs. Everybody trying to base it off that, but the guy's a winner. Guy runs that offense, him and Matt LaFleur, don't matter what outside world is saying, they got to be on the same page in-house to win 13 games, three years in a row, get into the playoffs, you know what I'm saying, and win the game. A-Rod been doing his thing for a while, one of the best, you know what I'm saying, passes in the league, probably in the game, you know what I'm saying, that ever played the quarterback position. So he just need a little room, a little weapons, man. He gonna put it on the money, man. I heard somebody say maybe putting that ball right on their earlobe. I'm talking about right where they're the only one that can catch it, man. So looking exciting, you know what I'm saying, to this season. Gonna be a lot of great games, man. But I think A-Rod will come out on top, man, for sure in that NFC North, that weak NFC North. You know, I know the Lions are in there. I think they're gonna split with the Lions and probably split with the Lions. Like I said, they'll beat everybody else. Shout out Jared Goff, man.
That's my Daniel Jones this year. I'm saying it. That we both got our guys. That's our guys. So now jumping into the second part of our of the episode, we're gonna be talking a little bit about a lot of hot takes and also just kind of some battles going on. So to start, we're gonna start with the Seahawks. The Seahawks finished last season at 7-10, which was a really disappointing year for them. And from that year, they traded their best quarterback in franchise history, Russell Wilson. With all the talent they had on the offensive side of the ball, that was really just, they didn't get enough out of it. And the offensive line was horrible. And the defense as a whole was bad. It was one of the worst in the NFL. But this offseason, like I said, they made one of the biggest trades in all of the NFL. They traded away Russell Wilson for Drew Lock, Noah Fant, Shelby Harris, and a few picks. Seems like they're going to be rebuilding for the next few years. When you do that and Drew Lock is competing for your starting job, I like Drew Lock, but that's just not great. And with that offensive line, if that offensive line is bad, if you thought Russ looked bad, Geno Smith or Drew Lock, God. Ugh. But to my knowledge, Pete Carroll has actually mentioned a few times that Geno Smith is currently the starting quarterback, but the door is still open for Locke to win the job. From all the reports at camp, Locke has outplayed Geno Smith, but my only thing that I guess is the reason Carroll is doing what he's doing is because he's more familiar with Smith and may trust him a little bit more. But that's literally the only reason I could see him starting Smith over Locke. Between the two, I think Locke has shown way more in actual NFL season games. And the other day they supposedly played a mock game. Drew Lock outplayed Geno Smith by a lot for the reports that were at the game. So in my opinion, Drew Lock has shown way more. And another thing, last season, I remember we talked about this on here. Drew Lock and Teddy Bridgewater had battled it out for the QB1 job in Denver. And Drew Lock, I honestly think, outplayed him. And Bridgewater, surprisingly, was named the starter. So I think Drew Lock I don't know if he's doing something in the locker room or what. But he played great in the preseason last year. And I think we'll see that again this year while the open battle for quarterback QB1 is going on. I know Locke has struggled in the regular season a bit, but Geno Smith has not been great in the regular season either. So through preseason, I think Locke outplays him. And week one, I think the starting quarterback will be Locke.
Man, that's a crazy thing that, you know, said Seattle did. They got rid of Wilson, the offensive threat, you know what I'm saying, for the trade, and got rid of Bobby. You know what I'm saying? Couldn't get Bobby back. So that was a big loss for him too on defense.
The rebuild.
Yeah, gotta be a rebuild year, you know what I'm saying? That's obvious. They top two players gone, so they trying to rebuild. And then they paid DK. They kept their big mega star receivers, you know what I'm saying? They pay him. But like you said, you gotta have somebody that can throw to him. And between Drew Lock and Geno Smith, just where they came from and how everything been going, I would have thought, like, I'm just being God honest truth, I would have thought Drew Lock would have came in the way that he did in college. I thought he would have came in slinging that thing, you know what I'm saying,
Yeah.
all over the field, give him a little protection. I think you give him a little protection, give him a little confidence, you know what I'm saying, even when he had bad plays, you know what I'm saying, speak the positives on him. I think Drew Lock is going to beat out Geno Smith. I don't like Geno Smith at quarterback. I think the only reason Teddy got the job over him in Denver was where the NFL is going with his quarterback, making plays. You know what I'm saying? After the initial play breaks down, Teddy Bridgewater could run
Yeah.
around and, you know what I'm saying, get them first down. He's probably a better runner than Drew. I don't think he's a better passer. I think if Drew locks in up there in Seattle, you know what I'm saying, with Pete. And like you said in the mock game the other day, he already outplayed Geno. So it's gonna be interesting. I think they need to put Drew in there, man. You got DK on the outside. You know what I'm saying? They still got Lockett. You know what I'm saying? Hey, make it happen. You know what I'm saying? Offensive coordinator got to get into his play calling bag and call these plays for him. You know, so camp is still going on. Camp is battling out, going into the second week of it. You know, these preseason games about to come out, so we will really get to see Drew playing quarterback and Geno. So I know they go let them battle out when you get some competition, man. But Seattle, like you said, 7-10 last year, rebuilding year. They can't have another year like that, especially up in Seattle, man. And in the division that they're in with AZ and 49ers and the Rams, you know. So hopefully they can get this thing turned around, man, and let Drew go and run the show.
Fully agree. But now to the next quarterback battle that we're seeing, which is another kind of subpar one. The Pittsburgh Steelers. The Pittsburgh Steelers and everything they got. The Steelers are coming off a season where this is hard to talk about. The Steelers are coming off a season where they made the playoffs. Shockingly, they were one of the teams to get in the last week of the year with that Colts devastating loss to the Jaguars. But they finished the season 9-7, Big Ben's last year, and then they went to the wild card round against the Chiefs and lost 42-21. This offseason, you know, they brought in Trubisky in free agency. They drafted University of Pittsburgh alum Kenny Pickett, which Pittsburgh fans are loving, which I think was a horrible draft pick. And then on top of it, they keep Mason Rudolph, and the battles between those three. Mike Tomlin has noted that he has not made a decision on the starter. It's only been a few days in the camp so far, but he hasn't yet to make his decision on who the starter will be. The reports are coming out that Mitch Trubisky has gotten all the first team reps so far in camp. Trubisky has also been told the starting job is to lose, according to Peter King. So that's kind of interesting. And although Mike Tomlin commented that no one should read into the rotation of starting quarterbacks, many people noticed him changing it up the other day at practice. Tomlin decided to put the rookie with the twos during a 7-shot drill. Prior to that, Rudolph had been taking the second team reps while Pickett was with the third team. So it looks like Pickett and Rudolph will be second, third team. I think Rudolph's third team, and he could end up being cut. I don't know if they're going to go with 3 quarterbacks, but I think early on they will, just because you don't want your rookie to have to be the only backup option. So they might go 3 quarterbacks early on in the year, but I don't think it'll be that long. Trubisky, in my opinion, will be the starting quarterback week 1 for the Steelers. And it's understandable because Trubisky honestly has had years where he was great. He was a Pro Bowl quarterback. And after that year, he was actually the favorite to win MVP in the NFL. That was terrible. Ever since that has happened, ever since that Pro Bowl year, Trubisky has really, really struggled. But staying under Josh Allen for a year, learning a little bit more about NFL defenses, I think that could be huge for him. I think he's wins starting quarterback job and starts throughout the season. I think he's better than Kenny Pickett. And I think the Steelers kind of want to go about their quarterbacks like the Chiefs did when they had Mahomes, and we've seen more teams do it this year. Let Pickett sit 1 year, learn, just keep learning. Don't play him really much at all unless it's a blowout, and then put him out there for the starting job next year. So that's my guess. I think the Steelers let Trubisky start all 17 games this year as long as he stays healthy, and then Pickett will be the starter next year, which I think I'm just not a big fan of Pickett. So it'll be interesting to see, but I think Trubisky is the guy in Pittsburgh all year.
Man, Pittsburgh, man, led by a great guy, you know what I'm saying, Mike Tomlin. Yes. I know he's gonna have the team prepared to play, prepared to win, prepared to that with his mindset. You know what I'm saying? That's the plus that they have, you know what I'm saying, having a great coach like that.
Never had a losing season.
Yeah, so they have it. Then they have a strong, young back with Najee. He's built up great all season. You know what I'm saying? He built up to take about 25 carries a game, 30 carries a
Yep.
game to try to lead that offense. So they just need a guy that can be in position to, dink and dunk. You know what I'm saying? Make the big plays when they are called. And out of them three quarterbacks with Trubisky, Pickett, and Rudolph, I feel like Trubisky is the one. He's
Yeah.
already proven in the NFL. You know what I'm saying, by making plays when he's with the Bears. Got that trade to Buffalo, like you said, behind Josh Allen, got to learn that offense, got to be in there a few times, you know what I'm saying, making plays. So I think he's just gonna take a little bit from the Bears, a little bit from what he learned from Buffalo, and apply it to Pittsburgh. Like you said, with that running game, and I know the defense is gonna be solid. They just need some guy that can make the plays when they are called. I don't think Pickett, you know what I'm saying, like you said, was going to play this year. Probably they first round pick on him, so he's gonna have to play, just
Yep.
like Mahomes did. I think they're gonna sit him. Rudolph is just Rudolph. I don't think Rudolph would be there if my guy wouldn't. You know what I'm saying? May he rest in power.
Yeah.
When the died, I don't think Rudolph would have been there. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? I think they probably still would have probably got Pickett in the first round, just like you said, just trying to work him out. You know what I'm saying? Trying to see if he'd be ready for next year. But it's like people said, man, Trubisky, his team to lose. I think if he lead them in the right direction, he'll make some noise for Pittsburgh. I have them finishing probably third or fourth in the AFC North. You know
Yeah,
what
I
I'm
agree.
saying? Even behind, you know what I'm saying, Cleveland with everything they have going on.
Yep.
Cleveland is a better overall team. So uh hope Pittsburgh get it together, man. I love the running back, Najee, Bama boy, running that ball. You know what I'm saying? Physical, catch the ball out the backfield, doing his thing. And I love Mike Tomlin. Also, wish I could have got a chance to play for him. Great leader, man. So I know he's going to have the team prepared, and I know he has them walking on, what I'm saying, eggshells
Yeah.
in the QB room. Like we need a starter. Somebody got to play him coming off Big Ben to go to having to pick a starting quarterback now with something that he didn't have to deal with in years past. So hope they come out on top. Trubisky should go in there and do his thing, man. I got confidence in him. He didn't
Yeah.
prove it. He didn't prove it in the NFL. He proved it with the Bears. He proved it in a few little times. The Buffalo Bills blew out some teams. He got in there, made some
Yeah.
plays. So Trubisky do his thing. Keep little hand Pickett on the bench the whole year. Uh, and like you said, man, you're taking second team reps now. So Rudolph, that's a heads up to you. You can even pick it up, you know what I'm saying? Or you're going to be third quarterback, scout team quarterback, man, probably
Yeah.
run back in practice squad type thing. So better pick it up, man. But Trubisky, man, like you said, his job to lose.
Yeah. So now jumping to the next battle, the Kansas City Chiefs wide receiver one battle. Uh, After free agency / the draft, I thought without a doubt Juju Smith was the guy, and it wouldn't really be a question. But supposedly through OTAs, it looked like about Marquez Valdez-Scantling would be the number one option. But now the training camp has started. Juju Smith once again has kind of moved into it and has looked like the number one receiver. In my opinion, McCole Hardman is the dark horse for the number one receiver. So I think it's between these three guys: McCole Hardman, Juju Smith-Schuster, and Marquez Valdez-Scantling. Between the three, I think Juju is the guy. But McCole Hardman has been in this offense for multiple years and already has the connection with Mahomes. So in game, Mahomes knows what he's going to get from Hardman. Juju Smith-Schuster and Valdez-Scantling have more of a proven track record in the NFL, but that's because they're more experienced. And they also they were in better situations, I guess you could say, because McCole Hardman was right behind Travis Kelce and Tyreek Hill, who now was a part of the biggest trade in the offseason, in my opinion. But I think Juju Smith-Schuster is the clear number one receiver and will have targets behind Travis Kelce because nobody in the receiving corps will have more targets than Kelce this year, in my opinion. But there's no doubt he's probably the most skilled of the three when he's fully healthy, but he deals with injuries a lot. And as the season goes on, I expect to see McCole Hardman kind of take that step forward and finish the year right around Juju Smith. That's kind of my dark horse, kind of odd prediction. But McCole Hardman, like I said, with all the times he's done with Mahomes, Mahomes has got to trust him. But I think Juju edges him out. But I still think we'll see a career high in receptions, yards, and touchdowns for McCole Hardman this season. So that's my kind of big prediction in Kansas City. I think McCole Hardman has a career year.
Man, You know, the guys you said, Harmon, Juju, MVS, you know what I'm saying, Kelsey. With them 4 guys alone right there, I think you can be a high power offense, especially with Andy Reid, you know what I'm saying, calling the plays, and especially with Patrick Mahomes at quarterback and with the running back that they have. I think they number one, you know what I'm saying, big time target. You know, number one always gonna be Kelsey, you know what I'm saying, at tight end. I think they'll line him up at receiver a few times as you go to trips look, put them out at the number one to see how they're gonna bracket that other side compared to Kelsey over there by himself. I think that's
Right.
gonna be a lot of doing. And the Reid's gonna he's a magician. He goes to figure out them matchups and everything. But I think MVS from the Packers, man, him coming on, him playing with a guy like A-Rod, he's a 4-3 guy. I know Juju's fast too, but a guy that has everything, can run all the routes,
Yeah.
not just a a 9 route. You know what I'm saying? A guy that can run a stick route, can run the hitches, can run the digs, can run you know what I'm saying, drags and figure out coverages and everything. I think it's going to be a big target for Patrick Mahomes. I just think they're still going to be high powered without Tyreek. You know what
I
I'm
agree.
saying? Just because Andy Reid and his play calling, and all the weapons that they have, Kelsey still is a problem out there. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? So you're gonna have to put 2 on him. That leaves 1-on-1 with somebody out there. And them other 3 guys, Juju, Hartman, and MVS can run. So I think it'll be very interesting. You know what I'm saying? That's why a lot of teams, you know what I'm saying, in that division, the AFC West beat up on defense, trying to get to Mahomes so he won't have time to pick you apart and try to, you know what I'm saying, throw Andy Reid off. So I think MVS is going to come out as the number one there. Harmon them right behind him, Juju right behind him. Juju just got to make plays, you know what I'm saying? Stay off that internet,
Yeah.
stop all the dancing, and just make plays because he's already proven that he can do that. You know what I'm saying? Taking passes 90, 95 yards when he was in Pittsburgh with Ben Roethlisberger. So now he's with a prolific, crazy quarterback with Patty Mahomes, man. I think it's going to be very interesting in Kansas City, man. Kansas City, man. I miss that old place. To spend a year out there in Kansas City, great town, man. Great town. College town. It's like a college town out there in Kansas City, man, on game day. So yeah, I know they're gonna be right. Then MVS and Juju coming from cold cities. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? Pittsburgh and you know what I'm saying, Green Bay, them going to
Yep.
Kansas City when it get cold. I don't think it's gonna be a problem, man. And like you said, Andy Reid calling them plays, man. It's gonna be great. But hey, look at this though. Got one more. Talk about receivers. Got one more battle, I think, for the number one with the Ravens. How do you say his name?
Shoot.
Porsche,
James Prochet.
Porsche, Dumervay, and Bateman. Them 3
Yeah.
receivers right there. Who you think is gonna be the number one for Lamar?
I think I've said it to a lot of people I've talked to. I think Bateman is by far going to be the number one. And I've kind of said on here that I think Bateman is a number one receiver. And I think last year you can't say that just because of the injury and everything, but I think when Bateman gets a consistent amount of snaps and plays and is on the field for a full season, you'll see he's the number one receiver in the NFL. Prochet is going to take a giant leap this year just because the Ravens don't have Hollywood anymore. So someone else is going to have to step up. And Duvernay, Devin Duvernay is going to be the Ravens version of Deebo Samuel, in my opinion. I think they'll give him the pitch. They'll give him, some kind of end arounds just to try to get him, because when he gets running, he can make guys miss, and he's very good. So if you get him kind of on a jet sweep, that's what they did a lot last year. I think they'll do it again this year. But between those 3, all of them I still believe have less targets than Mark Andrews. I think Andrews is by far the best player on the Ravens. I think it's a situation kind of like Kansas City, where you lose Hollywood, who was your top receiver, but now you have Mark Andrews who's just going to do what Mark Andrews does. Mark Andrews is unstoppable, in my opinion. I think he's a true Raven, and he'll be here for a while. So in Baltimore, I would say I would go. My biggest question is the battle for wide receiver too. But I think the way the Ravens play, everybody's going to get, other than wide receiver 1, which will be Rashad Bateman, I think everybody will get around the same targets. Because then you got Tylan Wallace as wide receiver 4, who he'll have some time on the field where he'll have to make some plays. I think Prochet takes a huge step in numbers this year. And Duvernay, I think Duvernay gets some carries, like as a running back this year with kind of the banged up running backs Ravens have. J.K. Dobbins is returning from PUP list, which is big for him. but I think Duvernay's just his skill set can be used so much that I just think you have to get Duvernay more involved in that offense if you want it to sprout with all the tight ends on the field, the blocking, the heavy run offense. So I'm going to go with, I think Bateman by far takes number 1, and then number 2 and 3 I think is just kind of 2A 2B with Prochet, who has the best hands of the Ravens receiving core. I think he has the best hands, and he's very underrated. So I think Prochet takes a step this year, and I think Duvernay does as well.
Yeah, man. Lamar, man, they need them targets. All three of them guys, like you said, all four of them, including Wallace, gonna have to step up for Lamar.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? They want to be a high profile offense. You know the running game is gonna be there. Like you just mentioned, JK coming back. Gus still working his way back, you know what I'm saying, to get the thing. So I can see Duvernay, you know what I'm saying, being in a Debo role a little bit, trying to, you know what I'm saying, make some plays for them out the backfield. But Bateman, man, I'm ready to see Bateman. I'm ready to see Bateman take off, be their number 1 receiver, be the deep threat, taking the top off like Torrey Smith used to do back in the day with Flacco. You know what I'm saying? Giving us a deep threat, you know what I'm saying? Also, for everything underneath the work, you know what I'm saying? With Andrews, the big guy at tight end, him doing his thing, the guys, you know what I'm saying, magnificent. People want to talk about, you know what I'm saying, him and Kelsey with the tight end. Kelsey probably got a little bit more wiggle, but as in just Ty Heap style tight end that was go get anything and go catch anything and in a matchup from hell versus anybody. You know what I'm saying? I take Big Mark. So I know Mark probably be his number 1 target with Bateman coming on, Porsche, you know what I'm saying, and Dumavay, you know what I'm saying? They should do their thing this year, man. I hope Harbaugh and, you know what I'm saying, the offensive coordinator got a plan for it, man. And y'all still need to pay. They still need to pay Lamar.
Yes. Soon. Very soon.
231 million guaranteed. 231 million. He got to get paid more than Murray. Like,
he has to.
You guys get paid. Murray get 230.5. That's his. I know he get 160 million guaranteed, but he get 230.5. Like, it has to be 231. So I know that's why everybody want Deshaun Watson to go and get suspended the whole year. So that deal won't work. But he was only getting, but like they said, he was only getting paid $1 million this year. Yeah, $1 million this year. So they knew something was going to go down. So man, it's gonna be interesting, man. But like we said, man, Andrews, Bateman, that offense should be high powered. Lamar coming in that thing rock solid. You know what I'm saying? Bigger, stronger. I know he's probably a little bit faster, a little quicker, man. And JK coming back with that running game, that's a big plus for Harbaugh and the Ravens.
Yep, fully agree. But now looking at one that I told you last time, I didn't bring it up, but I said we're going to talk about it when we're talking on NFC Day. I'm very excited to hear your opinion on this. So now we're going to go to a few hot takes. Before I start, we're going to a few hot takes and just kind of giving our opinions on them like we did last week, which I thought went really well and I really liked, just because it's kind of debate. You hear a little bit about some stuff that not everybody knows about, like just with last week with Brandon Ayuk. I thought, like, when we talked about it, I forgot to say, I didn't even know Brandon Ayuk had like 750 plus receiving yards last year. So him to get to 1,000 it's not even that. I mean, it's hard, but it's not that surprising, especially with the weeks that he had early on. But this week, to start our first hot take, Daniel Snyder will remain the owner of the Commanders throughout the season. I'll let you start first because you spoke about Dan Snyder a lot of times on here. Will he remain as the owner throughout the season?
I wish I could turn his smiling face upside down when you talk about on my hat, KBL Foundation. I had to talk about Snyder, man. I feel like Snyder is probably one of the, other than Ross in Miami. I know Ross did, you know what I'm saying, did a lot of stuff with the temper, and I understand that. Like, I probably would have tempered to get Tom Brady too and Sean Payton, you know what I'm saying? It's just two great coach, great quarterback. I understand that, but everything that's going on up there in the Commanders, man, I think he has a lot of power because, like, if there was any other owner, probably at a small tier team, I think they would have got, you know what I'm saying, the owners would have came out and just like kicked them out the group, kicked them out their high mighty group. So I don't think he's gonna finish. I think everything that he's done is gonna be put on the team. They think they're gonna win a lot with Carson Wentz. Like, I don't know what they're thinking with that. They probably need to work on that backup quarterback that was playing last year. Is he still there? No, yeah, he's like so. So
Heineke, yeah.
I hope they let them battle it out, because I think that guy's like on the same level as Carson Wentz. You know what I'm saying? Throwing,
Yeah.
but I don't think Snyder's gonna, you know what I'm saying, and as the owner, you know what I'm saying, for the Commanders, I think he's trying to put everything. I think he's snitching. I think he put out a
Yep.
lot of stuff about other owners to get the heat off him. Try to build. I think he's gonna try to build this new stadium, get the groundwork for this new stadium that they're trying to get. I think he's trying to get that out, and I think he probably step down there and just say, "All right, I gave y'all a stadium or something like that." But all the stuff that been coming out that place, man, I wouldn't even want to work up there. And they have women coaches, you know what I'm saying, women execs, you know what I'm saying, all that working up there. And I wouldn't even want to go up there and work. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of Alabama guys that play for the Commanders.
Yeah.
So I would be rooting for them, you know, just come my alma mater, just because of the University of Alabama. But as a team in a whole, no, man, dude is terrible, man. I feel like
Yeah.
he's snitching. I just that's just my opinion. It's not a fact, just my opinion. Affirmation Podcast opinion from LaRon
Yes.
McClain. I just feel like he's telling a lot. I feel like he told on. I feel like he gave some information on Ross. I feel like he.
I would agree.
I feel like he gave the Groom emails up. You know what I'm saying, and stuff
Any
like
way to
that.
keep him out of it. He loves when the media's somewhere else.
Any way to keep the heat off that team. You know what I'm saying? Everything that they got going on. They got a great coach up there. You know what I'm saying? Get led by a great man. But overall, just when it starts up top, you know what I'm saying, with the owner of the team, the dude that supposed to represent the Commanders, the dude that represent the Commanders at the owners meetings and all this, you know what I'm saying, in the community and all that, is a bad guy. And I just don't feel like he's going to finish it out. And I really have no, only thing, like I said, the only way I'm going to be cheering for the Commanders, you know what I'm saying, them Bama guys up there, just got Brian Robinson up there. He doing his thing, having a great camp. So hopefully they have a great season. But overall, as a man, no, I don't appreciate Snyder at all.
Yeah, I fully agree. Just kind of discuss what happened. In July of 2020, the Washington Post published a series of articles alleging that over 40 women who were former employees of the organization, including front office workers and cheerleaders, which is a whole nother odd thing, had been sexually harassed and discriminated against by Snyder and other male executives, colleagues, and players of the team since at least 2006. That December, it was also reported that this is where it kind of just shows you what he is. It was also reported that Snyder had settled a sexual harassment claim with a former female employee for a sum of $1.6 million. The alleged incident had occurred on his private plane while returning from the Academy of Country Music Awards in 2009. Two private investigations at the time by the team and an outside law firm failed to substantiate the women's claim, while with it being reported that Snyder paid the sum to avoid any negative publicity. A year-long independent investigation into the team's workplace culture, led by lawyer Beth Wilkinson, was concluded in July of 2021. It found that incidents of sexual harassment, bullying, and intimidation were a commonplace throughout the organization under his ownership. The NFL fined the team $10 million in response, with Snyder also voluntarily stepping down from the team's day-to-day operations a few months, giving the responsibilities to his wife Tanya, who probably knows what's going on, by the way.
You know what's going on with his nasty self, man. Like,
Yeah.
come on, man. Like, and she had as a wife, she had to step in and just run the team, while he said, I'm going to focus on the new stadium. You know what I'm saying? And all this. No, you just want to get out the limelight because you just don't want that heat on you that the media bring to you. 40 women came out. Like, y'all should be buried. Like, that's why I said, like, with Deshaun Watson, nothing that he did, Deshaun Watson, you know what I'm saying? I don't know what type of guy. Never been around a guy. Never, you know what I'm saying? Not my family. Never shared no locker room with him or anything. But the allegations that came out about him and him lying to the judge and all that, that's terrible. You know what I'm saying? As a man, that's terrible. Even when women is involved. And my guy, higher up, big time billionaire, runs a whole organization, a team, you know, has 40 women come out, you know, and you don't even hear a peep. He's still up there running operations, no matter what his wife doing. His wife got to report to him. So he's still running operations up there with the Commanders. And for him not to be under investigation. I'm talking about Stroma right now. People be getting ready to, fire him. But look, like all the heat is off him. It's like he giving, I got some more stuff to give you. And I feel like some more stuff about to come out about, a few people, just because of the knowledge that he knows. So it's crazy.
Real quick, it's it's kind of speechless. How can a guy get more punishment for tampering than sexual harassment / assault? Like it's like it literally leaves you speechless. Like
that's crazy because the Ross got. No, I said I understand him tampering, trying to get Tom Brady, greatest quarterback of all time, trying to get Sean Payton, one of the best offensive minds, one of the best leaders. The man in the league. I understand that tampering goes on without even being output in the media. People just trying to make their team better. So I understand. I understand that to a certain extent. You got to live by that integrity of the shield. Go by the rules. So I understand it's fine, but my guy get fined for that, and you got a guy that got so many allegations against him up there, the Commanders, to the point that he had to step down and give it to his wife.
Yeah.
So he could take the heat off him, so he can focus on the stadium. So the donors and everything won't, take away their money, so they won't be in FedEx Field for the rest of their lives. Like, I can imagine how the locker room is. Like, you don't see the owner, you don't. Like, I wouldn't even want to, if I was one of them guys and they asked me something about him, I wouldn't even want to talk about him, especially everything that then came out. He settled with a lady, 1.6 million. That wasn't, they didn't hid that under the media. You got to look deep in the media, in the headlines to get that. So I just think it sucks all around for every guy that's up there playing for him, because like, that's your boss. Like, I understand that you got a head coach, but that guy runs the team. He got the big money and all that. So it doesn't make any sense on a private jet, like 1.6 million, you settled that. Like, that ain't come out. But y'all got everything Groom said in them emails. They said there's more emails. Where the rest of the emails? I feel like if you just go put out Groom emails, put out everybody emails. I want to hear what everybody talking about. I want to see what everybody saying. Because Gruden, one of my favorite coaches of all time, one of the guys that brought me in when he was at Tampa in 2007, brought me in for a visit. Had a great 2-day visit down there with him. Just a great offensive mind, but everything that he said, I don't agree with. But they felt comfortable enough to send that via email to your colleagues, to your other people. It's no telling what else is in them emails, whatever else y'all was talking about, because I know it's a lot. I know it's a lot. So it's crazy, man. Get Snyder out of DC, man.
Yeah. And last thing on him before we move to our next hot take. You made a great point earlier, and I don't want to keep bringing up Deshaun Watson, but I think this is the best comparison. Deshaun Watson gets 6 games. It's been a long. Imagine if Tyler Huntley, Geno Smith, one of those quarterbacks had this stuff come up. We wouldn't have heard about it again. He would have been out. It would have been, you sexually assaulted / harassed 28 women, you're done. Because it's a big name quarterback in Deshaun Watson, because it's a big name owner who has, for some reason, respect from other owners. Like, imagine if the 49ers, the Cardinals, the Bears owner, the Lions owner. Imagine if one of them had like all this stuff come out. It would be done. They would have had to step down. They would have resigned. It would have been over. Because for some odd reason, he has this respect. And it's just like I said, just like the quarterback, because Deshaun Watson was so good, they found a way to keep him in the league. Like, it's just so wrong and needs to change. But
and then the NFL is appealing. The NFL is appealing it. They found a guy that go to appeal the thing. So what y'all gonna give them 8 games? Like, the only thing y'all can do from now is suspend him for the year or give them 8 games. And then the NFLPA said they go file a lawsuit against the NFL. So it's just gonna be a crazy couple of months coming into that. And y'all gonna mess around and the dude only gonna be suspended 4 games, because after they appeal it and all this stuff, it gonna be a waste of time. Like, are y'all doing this just for the fans' sake, just for, oh man, they're appealing it? That's great. Now, Robert Kraft come out saying there's a slap in the face to the NFL. We could check your background too, sir. You know what I'm saying? Everything Spygate. You know everything going on over there. Like, you
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? Everything y'all was doing, you know, and I understand them coming out protecting the shield and everything. Like, it should have been, I feel like for me, it should have been, I would have gave him 10 or more games, you know what I'm saying? Probably the whole season. Or probably the whole season, just to let people know you can't be doing that. Like, you can't be like sexual assault, and, you know what I'm saying, massage therapists and telling
Yep.
them to do this and do that and then lying. And I like, you can't do that. And I wanted the people in the locker room asking them about it. Like, oh, they just say, oh man, don't worry about it. We just playing football. I think Cleveland just happy to have a good quarterback and feel like they're gonna have a good season now that they got a solid quarterback in there. 6 games. When the NFLPA came out the day before and said, I think we should go with what they're going to give for suspension. We're not going to appeal, and I don't think the NFL is going to appeal either. I said, yeah, they gave him about 4 to 6 games. That's what I knew. I like they just gave him a slap on the back. You know what I'm saying? And
Literally.
he settled out of court with them other people. Like, if you ain't do nothing, if I ain't do nothing, I'm not selling nothing. Like, you're not getting none of my money. You're not getting nothing. You try to attack my job for to sue you. You know what I'm saying? For, you
Exactly.
know what I'm saying, attacking my name and put my name under you know what I'm saying, microscope like that. And like, but something had to go down. You know what I'm saying? And consequences. I mean, you know what I'm saying. You play that evil for evil, man. Consequences gonna come, and you know the Browns just still have. They just waiting for him to come back against the Ravens. That game that he come back. That's all they ready for. You know what I'm saying? M&T Bank. You know what I'm saying? That's all the Browns. Oh, we got them 6 games. Great. Jacoby Brissett, he can do his thing for them 6 games and watch him go come back. You know what I'm saying? Ready. So the NFL is like, it's like a black eye to the NFL. NFL is just they different, man. But people gotta
Different.
understand they're a nonprofit organization. They them owners are 1% of America. Like, they pretty much run like every city that they in. Like, they pretty much run them cities. You know, with the stadium sales and the money that they have, like, they 1%. They 1%. So they got a lot to do with taxes. They got a lot to do with their taxes and
Yep.
everything. It's deeper than what people know, man. That shield. I want people to understand this. When COVID was going on, it was only one machine still moving, like still
Yeah.
moving and still planning. Like, oh, we just gonna go around that. Oh, we just playing it. Oh, no fans. Okay, I lose a little money. We still having these games. Like, we still need a TV right. We still got to play on TV
Yep.
for that contract, and we still gotta, you know, what I'm saying, showcase this with the stadium, with they sponsor. So it was one machine still moving, man, and even college had to bag up that year. They had to, like, about 3 weeks, you know what I'm saying? And I remember Alabama played nothing but all SEC schedule.
SEC. Yep.
All SEC schedule when 10-0 and that. Like, everybody was slowing down, but NFL kept moving, you know what I'm saying? To the point that it was fans at the NFC and AFC championship, fans there. The Super Bowl was packed out in Tampa. You know, like
Yep.
like the NFL runs on its own beat, man. They run on their own, they run on their own beat. And you know what I'm saying, they go figure out a way, you know what I'm saying, to do anything. And I think a lot of people are mad that Browns gave him that contract, 230
Yeah, they are.
million, all
Definitely.
guaranteed. So a lot of owners mad, like, damn, now I gotta pay. Now I gotta pay
My
my
God.
quarterback, you know what I'm saying, as much. I know Arizona thought about it. John Harbaugh and Steve Rashad, I know they up there thinking about it, you know what I'm saying? And every other quarterback that's coming up who they were like, I think I could get, you know what I'm saying, a big contract like that. So they set the
Right.
bar high and they mad. They mad.
Yep. Yeah, fully agree. But now to jump to I think we'll do 2 or 3 quick bold takes. One of the ones that we kind of discussed earlier, but not too much. CeeDee Lamb will be one of the 3 most productive receivers in the NFL in terms of receiving yards. I'm going to go true. I think losing Amari Cooper and now James Washington, CeeDee Lamb will have so much pressure on him, and they're going to be giving him the ball so much. And when you get the ball in his hands, he makes plays. So it'll be interesting to see how the Cowboys go about it. But I fully think CeeDee Lamb has a career year this year, and I think Dak kind of shows CeeDee Lamb is his guy, and Dak wants to keep him involved at all times. That Cowboys offense has to improve a little bit in the postseason, but for regular season, I think CeeDee Lamb will eat a ton of targets, ton of catches, and have a ton of touchdowns. And I think he, like I said earlier, will be one of the highest fantasy scoring wide receivers in the NFL this year, just because I don't know who else. I mean, Michael Gallup will be good. Michael Gallup's coming back from a knee injury. And also, I don't know if he'll be ready for week 1. So
Yeah.
CeeDee Lamb is just going to – CeeDee Lamb's healthy. CeeDee Lamb's looking good in camp. And CeeDee Lamb is shown in the NFL so far. He can be that guy. He is a top receiver in the NFL. So like I said, I think CeeDee Lamb has a breakout year and finishes one of the top 3 most productive receivers in the NFL.
Man, I gotta agree with you on that, man. Just with like I said, man, if people seen Ezekiel Knight this offseason, man, the way that he worked, the way that he slimmed down, I think that running game is gonna be back for them. Running the ball, toe and toe. So, the big plays they love to play action, big plays by Dak too. CeeDee Lamb, who has speed, who can make the plays, number 1 receiver now. Like you said, Cooper's gone. I think he's gonna have a breakout year, and do his thing. It all depends on, Dak getting on the ball, in the proper areas and him running the routes, and catching it. That's something that they both have proved that they could do. They ended the game last year versus New England on a play action play. Was great. So with CeeDee Lamb taking over, man, I think he's going to be the one in Dallas, man. And like you said, one of the top 3, top 5 receivers in the league.
For the next one, Kyle Pitts will be a top 3 tight end in terms of statistics this year. I'm going to go true. It's a little bit of a surprising pick, but Marcus Mariota, I think, kind of shocked some people this year. I still think they're one of the worst teams in the NFL. But if you look at the receiving core, Calvin Ridley is gone for the betting suspension. You lose Russell Gage. Like they're in a tough situation. And on top of all of it, Kyle Pitts had a great rookie year. And as a tight end, he's a different tight end. At Florida, we saw that. He is just a different kind of breed of tight ends, more long, more athletic, and faster than a lot of the guys who he'll be competing with at the tight end position. I will say Kyle Pitts is a breakout year this year and has way more touchdowns than a majority of the other tight ends. I think Andrews, Kelsey, and I don't know, I kind of expect a little bit of a down year from Kittle, but Andrews, Kelsey, and Waller all are up there. But with Devontae Adams going to Las Vegas, Waller's numbers will probably go down a little bit. Kyle Pitts is the only guy. I mean, Mark Andrews is there with him, but in my opinion, Kyle Pitts is the biggest. Like really, no other big weapons around him. Kyle Pitts is the top weapon by far. Mark Andrews is as well, but the Ravens have Rashad Bateman. The Falcons don't have anything like Rashad Bateman. The Chiefs got Juju Smith, Marquez Valdez-Scantling, Michael Hardman. The Chiefs or the Falcons just don't have that, and I think Kyle Pitts really gets the ball a ton of every game, and I think he'll be one of the best fantasy tight ends in the NFL.
Oh yeah, man. I agree with that also. Just I know they're gonna be down in a lot of games, so I know they're gonna be passing that ball all over the field with Mariota. I hope Mariota, comes to himself, getting another chance. With the Atlanta Falcons, they already named him the starter. So just get the ball to Cal, man. That's pretty much all they have on offense. Get the ball to Cal, line them up, let them block a little bit, line them up in the slot, line them up at the number 1 and give them ball. So I think he had like 10 plus TDs this year. At a tight end position and making some noise. Like you said, coming off a big rookie year that he had. He's a different type of tight end, tight end / receiver because he could do it all, run all the routes. He's a big target. He can throw the ball up on the goal line with the fade. So I know that offensive coordinator over there and that coach gonna have some great plans for him. And the fit Mariota's, style of quarterback. I think it's gonna be, interesting season for the Falcons and Pitts.
Yeah, fully agree. Now another question. Should we? Yeah, we could do that one. The Carson Wentz playtime incentive will be reached, and the Commanders will find a quarterback for 2023 as well. That means Wentz will fit in there, and the Commanders will get.
Let me start out with this. I feel like they brought Carson Wentz in to get through this season.
I agree.
There's some high-powered guys coming out next year.
That's going to be the best quarterback draft in a while next year, I think.
You know what I'm saying? There's some high-powered guys coming out next year, in that draft. And they are hoping, hey, let's try to do this, let's try to do that. But if we don't, we are okay. We can drop them off and pick a guy, in the draft next year, with the young talent that's coming out. So he might reach his, playing incentive, but eventually I think he's going to get benched by the guy that played last year or 2 years ago. I'm trying to see.
Last year.
Yeah, last year. So I think they're gonna I think they're going to put him in there, at the tail end of the season, or they're going to put him in that tail end of the season, just say, all right, the season over with. Let's just finish with Heineke, just in case Carson get a little gear so we can get a top 3 pick. Because I don't feel like they're going to be good in NFC East at all.
Yeah, I agree. I fully agree. And the last one we'll discuss today, Jimmy Garoppolo will not be traded. The 49ers will need more time with Trey Lance and still have a roster capable of winning now. With the big coaching staff, Shanahan hangs on to a security blanket and kind of uses him in certain scenarios and as a backup. I say false. I think Jimmy Garoppolo gets traded. And there are a few teams that could honestly use him. He kind of sucked a little bit last year in certain games, but he also showed up big time in some games. So I think he's another one of the wild cards. You never know what you'll get out of him. But I'm going to go with he will be traded. There's some teams that could use him. I would say the Texans, maybe a team like that. There's a few teams where I really feel like he could go and be the starting quarterback as soon as he gets there. It'll be interesting to see, but I'm going to go with that is false. He will be traded by the end of the season.
Yeah, man, I feel like Jimmy got to get out of there, man. Like when you come out in the media and just say, man, this is Trey's team. You just fitting in for a backup spot, man. If you want to be that type of guy, I don't think Jimmy G's like leaving New England. He was that guy in New England, by the time he finally got going when he got traded, So I just feel like he doesn't want to do that. He's a winner when he's in there. Just came off, 9 throwing arm, It's crazy that he hurt that arm back when he was playing with Pittsburgh, that 9 throwing arm, and it's still giving him problems now. Him just having surgery on that. So hopefully he can, step into a role with another team. Texas would be great because they need everything down there. Even Seattle,
Seattle, I was about to say, yeah.
I don't know if they're going to trade him in the division, doing that. But man, it's been a lot of stuff coming out that 49ers camp, not to jump off Jimmy G, but your guy, Brandon, I want to make sure I'm saying the name. Said he's been the best football player in 49ers camp. Guy making plays every day, doing his thing, and there's only one person throwing to him, and that's Trey Lance. So him and Trey Lance already getting that, getting comfortable with each other and throwing the ball. Been a lot of fights out there. Cal said he got to cut down on some of the fights, but they're going to be they're always going to be a tough fit team in the Bay. With Brandon Ayuk, stepping up for Trey Lance, that's going to make his process a little bit easier when you got a guy like that throwing the ball to. So hopefully Jimmy G, finds out where he want to go. If not, he's going to be that backup. And just in case Trey don't work out when they get in there, you got Jimmy, the winner, in the back seat, man, working for him. So hopefully he get traded to another team. If he don't, I know Jimmy's going to be a professional. He's a professional all the years in New England. Playing and everything. So hopefully he was a professional last year when they drafted a guy and you got him on your neck and excuse me, and you get all the way to the NFC Championship and a few plays away from winning that game. So it's interesting, man. It's crazy what you do. It's crazy what you do when you're back against the wall. When you're back against the wall, it's crazy how you come out and play. Because he could have tanked last year. He could have, man, I know this guy for to be the starter. He could have tanked the season last year, and they got all the way to the NFC Championship. And Trey got weapons. Trey got Brandon Ayuk, Debo, Kittle. I don't like Kittle as much. I like Kittle as for the blocking.
Exactly. I agree.
Check. Shout out to the fullback still doing their thing in the league. So, man, then Cal Shanahan calling them plays, man, put them in the right position. So I'm excited to see what Cal do with Trey. Now he has that type of quarterback, and and then he always got the gunslinger in the back seat, man. The QB2 with Jimmy. I just hope Jimmy be a professional about it. Just don't go about it like we used to do back in the day when we weren't getting balls or playing in there, going crazy.
But that is it for this episode. We thought we'd had a guest on today. Hopefully soon. We'll see.
I would tell y'all the name of the guest, man, but I'm gonna let y'all guess. He's a big time defensive tackle.
Angry
Angry tackle for the Tennessee Titans. Got traded to, Well, it was free agency. He went to the Redskins, had one of the biggest contracts ever. I think that was the first time we probably seen, saying that big of a contract. And
Yeah.
yeah, and they said he got more money from Tampa Bay. You know what I'm saying? I don't know
He
why.
turned it down.
Yeah, I don't know what his people was thinking to go to a. He played in a 3-4. I mean, played in a 4-3 and then go to a 3-4. You know what I'm saying? I think Tampa at the time probably was a 4-3 also. So, man, wish we would have had him on this morning. We didn't, man, but we still gave y'all a great show, great content. Remember to follow us on everything. You know what I'm saying? We still popping iPhone, baby. You know what I'm saying? On Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, like, subscribe, do everything. Ben, appreciate you always,
Yes,
baby.
Sir.
You
Yes,
know
sir.
what I'm saying? With my great co-host, Ben Hall. We still coming, baby. We still coming.
And it's only getting better when the season starts. Oh, we got some trips planned. We're going to Senior Bowl this year. Definitely. We'll have daily content from there. Shit. We'll have episode every day on there. But
be crazy, man. Go be crazy. Coming off for a few Ravens game, man. We'll try to go to the stadium, man. A lot of stuff is different this year and year two. You know what I'm saying? We just want to appreciate all the subscribers and everything. Got some giveaways coming up also. Sign stuff, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna try to do a little ticket giveaway this year also, man, just for people that's tuned in, man. We just appreciate y'all so much. Appreciate everybody, man. And we're gonna keep bringing this heat, man. This show right here was dope. We just know how to make adjustments, baby. You know what I'm saying? Know how to make adjustments. Great coordinators.
Yes, sir.